March 6, 2026, A Life of Meditation. Invisible Faith. Beloved, I hope you are at peace into the Lord's grace today. In our life of faith, we often expect to hear the thunderous voice of the Lord, just as the Apostle Paul did on the road to Damascus, or hoping for miracles that unfold clearly before our eyes, like the pillar of fire and cloud. We sometimes pray, Lord, if you speak to me clearly just once, I will stake my everything on it. This is probably because living with faith in a God who is unseen and unheard by our physical ears can sometimes feel daunting and frustrating. Here is the story of missionary E. Stanley Jones, a saint of modern missions who dedicated his life to the souls of India. One day, a young man came to him and asked, Pastor, you have dedicated your life to preaching the gospel. Have you ever personally heard the mysterious voice of the Lord, just as the Apostle Paul did? Perhaps the young man expected that a great missionary would naturally experience heaven opening and the Lord speaking directly to him every single day. To that question, Pastor Jones quietly looked up at the sky and answered, Young man, I have never once heard the voice of the Lord with my physical ears my entire life. However, through the written word of the Bible, I have always clearly felt the image of the Lord, and I have learned his teachings deeply. I may lack astonishing experiences of faith or outstanding scholarship, but this one heart that loves the Lord remains unchanging. Beloved, the greatness of true faith does not lie in mysterious experiences or a voice heard into your ears. Trusting the Lord only when miracles happen is a shallow faith. Even into the Lord's long silence, to feel his warmth and resemble his character simply through the Bible held into our hands. To walk the path of the cross given to me today with an unchanging heart that silently loves the Lord, even without seeing spectacular miracles. That is precisely the power that guided the great missionary E. Stanley Jones, and it is the steadfast faith we need most as we live today. Today, quietly open your Bible. All of the Lord's loving voice toward us is already contained there, into its most perfect form. Meditation and application. The first meditation is, what is the spiritual weather of my life right now, and what word do I need? Are you currently into a sweltering weather, exhausted from seeking only dramatic miracles and signs, or are you into a cloudy state, doubting the Lord's love because you do not hear a special voice? Honestly reflect on the helplessness of your soul, and today, seeking the unchanging faith you need most, let us practice the act of willingly obeying the Lord's will with an earnest confession, Lord, even without spectacular miracles, let me meet you through the word. The second meditation is, am I discovering new treasures into the word every day? Even into the words about miracles and answers that you think you know well because you have heard them dozens of times, there is certainly a new realization hidden, prepared for you as you stand before your weaknesses today. Are you stuck only into the familiar grace of the past? Let us brush off the dust of pride covering our hearts and take time to meditate, seeking the spiritual treasure of encountering the Lord's image into the word given to us today with an expectant heart, as if reading a treasure map.